Good morning, I'm Esmeralda Ramirez.
And I'm Enrique Ramirez.
Welcome to the E2 News.
This week news for the week. This is the news for the week of Monday, March 9th to Friday, March 13th.
Here is the week's lunch menu.
Monday, sausage pizza, choice ham and cheese sandwich.
Tuesday, chili soup, choice chicken wings.
Wednesday, turkey mihan, choice fish sticks.
Thursday, spaghetti, choice grilled cheese.
Friday, pizza burgers, choice burrito with cheese.
All chocolate bunny orders and money need to be turned in by Wednesday of this week.
Remember, every student who sells 10 or more bunnies will be invited to a pizza party at school.
There will be skating party this Thursday at Anderson Roll Arena from 6 to 8.
Remember to have an adult come in to sign you in and return no later than 8 p.m. to pick you up.
It's time to hear the word of the week.
The week's word is nauseating.
Nauseating means something that makes you feel sick.
For example, riding a roller coaster after eating a bag of cotton candy and drinking Big Coke can make you nauseating.
Remember to try to use the word of the week when you are talking or writing this week.
Now it's time for the
Shadow of the week.
Dr. Scott would like to give a shout out to Mrs. Poor, Mrs. Shuck, and Mrs. Short's class for spelling out perfect attendance and earning a classroom popcorn party. Great job, students.
Mrs. Shock and Mrs. Shryock would like to give a shout out to first grader Lily Travis for using her hard-earned fish cash to buy a classmate some needed headphones. Way to go, Lily, you're awesome.
Now it's time for Ms. Womack to do the fish cash drawing for books.
Good morning, Eastside Explorers. Once again, it's time for a fish cash drawing for books. If your name gets called, come on down to the office and get a certificate that you can use for a free book on Wednesdays at the Explorer Bookstore. Our first winner from first grade, Mrs. Shuck's class, Robert Smith. Mrs. Skelding's class, Josiah Love. Mrs. Smith's class, Micaiah Harless. And how about from Mrs. Adams' class, James Crockett. Come on down and get a certificate. First second grader from Mrs. Miller's class, Becca Ball. From Ms. Bennett's class, Lily McClish. Mrs. Poor's class, Jacob Romine. Our last second grader for this week is from Mrs. Poor's class again, Addie Hubble. Come on down and get a certificate. From third grade, from Mrs. Sanders' class, Wyatt Smith. Mrs. Sanders' class again, Caleb Powell. Mrs. Shaw's class, Latarius Love. And our last winner from third grade for this week is from Mrs. Shaw's class, Aiden Sigmund. Come on down and get a certificate. Fourth graders from Mrs. Biggis's class, Ethan Poole. From Mrs. Maidlow's class, Prince Bryant. From Mrs. Payton's class, Devontae Watkins. And our last winner is from Mrs. Maidlow's class again, and it is Willie Gaucher. Come on down and get a certificate. From fifth grade, Mrs. Lavelle's class, Caroline Ernie. From Mrs. Lavelle's class again, Mackenzie Jones. From Miss Plummer's class, Enrique Ramirez. And from Mr. Lambert's class, Brooklyn Webb. Come on down and get a certificate. Once again, Eastside Explorers, thank you for being proud, positive, and productive.
Have a great week!